Live now. That's better already. So much better all freaking ready. Let me get this pulled up here though so I can look at the chats. So much better already. Got the chat. We're going to pop that chat out. Update the link in Discord. And now we are cooking with fire. Look at there. Look at there. Look at there. We are so freaking sophisticated. What's going on, Daniel? Filming some videos here, hanging out. We're about to do some tasting notes and some different bourbon reviews and stuff. And so just figured, why not live stream it and hang out with those that have time, right? If you're just hanging out. Again, we're not going to be super paying attention to y'all while we're filming, but we'll come, talk about the videos in between as we're filming it, and y'all can kind of see some of what goes into producing some of these videos. I got Will here. Will, say hello to everybody.
What's up?
So Willie G in the Discord, Gamtang here on YouTube helps us produce these, and so he's brought some stuff and some things, and now we've got a film. So we're gonna start with a tasting notes video. So he's gonna hit me hard right off the bat this morning. That's gonna be wonderful. I'm looking very much forward to it. So you've sent me the video that we've got to watch for this. How long is this video?
It's like 9 minutes.
9 minutes. We're gonna put it on speed and a half at least, right? All right. What does he have? We need to shoot the intro for this. What are the tasting notes? Okay. What's going on, One Mo? How are you doing? Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a bit while we film some stuff. Oak. So he's going to use oak. So I've got oak. We're going to char the oak, maybe. Does he say charred oak or does he just say oak?
I think he just says oak.
I'm going to char it just to get a little flavor.
Toffee.
We got our Heath bars right here. What else have we got?
Cherry cough drops.
And cinnamon.
That's it.
Just open fresh jar of cinnamon here. Okay. So I don't know what the hook is on this one because we've got all of the stuff. Like we got the bottle. It's just regular old Maker's Mark he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Did the stream stop when this went to sleep?
I don't think so.
How do I stop this thing from going to sleep?
Go to your settings.
Sorry about that if it stopped. Yeah, well, I mean, we were sitting here filming, and it's like we're going to film for 2 hours. Why not? Just share that with everybody. Like, why not hang out? So I got to figure out how to make this computer not go to sleep, though.
Click the Apple logo on the left top of your screen.
System preferences.
Yeah, open energy saver.
Energy saver. Where's she at? Battery, displays, time machine. Guess we're gonna have to read them all. None of them jump out at me as energy saver. I think it's just battery on this one. Is it not?
Might be. This is totally it. And then turn display off after slider. Slide to never.
Let's just search for. There's no. It's just battery usage. Usage history, battery. Turn display off. There you go. Never. Okay, we're going to use a lot of energy. We're going to consume tons and tons of energy. Fantastic. The stream looks a little rough to me, but hopefully it's not too bad for y'all. All right, where'd my chat go? I'm going to pop this chat back out. Oh, that's in studio. All right. So let's get back on track here. I'm hoping audio and everything's working. Drums and Drams making the first short right now. Well, let me know if you have any questions. I can't help you right now because I am filming some stuff myself, but Hey, learn some stuff. If I can help you, you know, that's great, because I'll take some stuff from everybody else. That's for sure. Where I'm at on watch hours, like after last night's stream, we're probably 1,1700 hours. So we're about half, getting close to half. Siri call AOC. Yes, around 1,700. But it takes a while for those live streams to show up, sometimes a couple of days. So this helps. You know, letting this run in the background helps. All right, let's film this right here. Flip the screens around so I can see them, please. All right, hit the record. Let me get my audio going. We use separate audio. Just this room has a lot of echo, so I use a lavalier separate audio. We good on both of those? Actually, stop them both, please. This one here is not level. Let me level that up real quick. Yeah, it's not level. That one's good. All right, flip the screens back around. Let's get back to this. Get back to this. No, you stopped the recording for some reason or another.
There we go.
All right, so we're good. Both cameras rolling, audio rolling. This is Maker's Mark, one of the most popular whiskeys on the planet. And this YouTuber, this is Maker's Mark, one of the most popular whiskeys on the planet. And this YouTuber thinks it tastes like this crap right here. Let's blend up his tasting notes and give it a try. This is Maker's Mark, one of the most popular whiskeys on the planet. And this YouTuber thinks it tastes like this crap right here. Let's blend up his tasting notes and give it a try. It's a lot of thises. I think it'll work. I think it'll work. All right, so let's watch the video now. So this Bourbon Sane, what am I going to say about him to introduce him? 14,000 views. We might be giving him a few more views than he's used to on this one. All right. So far, most of the tasting notes we've done have been for expensive or hard to find whiskey. So it's going to be fun to just try a good old-fashioned, normal, regular. Most of the tasting notes we've done in the past have been for hard to find or rare whiskey. So it's going to be fun to just try one for just a good old normal everyday bourbon. So let's get right into it. Hey, drop the link in there for everybody else if they want to watch this video.
What is going on, everybody? My name's Chris. Welcome to Bourbon Sane. I'm here today.
Oh, I
I'm
get
going
the
to be drinking
speed up
Maker's
on my
Mark.
phone.
For you
It's not
guys
giving me
that
that
watch
option.
my channel at all, you know I am not a Maker's Mark fan. I've done Maker's Mark in my best budget bourbon series flight. Did not fare well. I did not like the flavor that came through on it. I tried it again during a live stream. The bottle was drank down a little bit. To me, it hadn't opened up much at all. So it's Maker's. Cast strength. They have a Maker's Private Select program where they use actual barrel staves to add more complexity to their whiskey. Maker's is a wheated mash bill, so 70% corn, 16% wheat, and then 14%.
Why won't it let me speed this crap up?
Age is most likely going to be around the 4-year age, 4 to 6, I would say. And in the bottle looks very nice. Let's give it a pour here, and we'll talk about color. So it actually looks like a very dark color here.
So you haven't heard that name in a while? Is this guy still posting?
Drip and Wax too, which is really cool. If you go to their distillery. You can actually dip your own bottle, take it home. They also have this ambassador program where you can sign up as a maker's ambassador. They'll put a barrel with your name on it, and then when it ages in 4 to 6 years, you can actually go buy a bottle from the distillery that's your specific barrel. It's just base Maker's Mark, but still pretty cool marketing. Let's look at the color first. It's actually pretty dark, like a medium brown sugar looking color. I mean, not to the mahogany, but not to the light color either. It's kind of a medium caramel color, I would say. Almost zero legs sticking to the glass. If you notice, I intentionally went with a wider nosed glass today, and reason was in previous times I've drank this with the Glencairn, it's given off a lot of alcohol burn and kind of that rubbing alcohol nose that I hate. So I thought maybe this would dissipate some of that alcohol vapors, and I think honestly it has. I'm actually picking up some oak, a little bit.
Picking up some oak. This is one of the reasons, though, that a lot of folks don't get bigger views. Is it just takes forever to get into it. Like, we're 3 minutes in before we hear any tasting notes. See, a little bit of oak. We're going to char it. Do that again. A little bit of oak. We're going to use some of our oak chips here, and we are going to char it for a little bit of oaky flavor. You know it's done when the fire alarm goes off, or you can no longer breathe. He said a wheated mash bill. So we're going to start with it's got a wheated mash bill. So we're going to start with a larceny base.
The toffee,
Toffee?
fake medicinal cherry is still there, which I get every time I drink this bottle. That's what really puts me off it, I think.
Medicinal cherry. Did you take a cough drop? Or did we buy them open already? Okay. Me screwing up the opening's half the fun, man. Jeez, you're taking all the fun away. He's taking all the fun away. So, medicinal cherry.
I am not a fan of cherry flavored candy, like cherry Jolly Rancher, cherry Suckers, anything like that. And this always reminds me of that, kind of like a cherry cough drop flavor. That's what gets me every time.
So, medicinal cherry cough drop.
It's much more subtle. I think this open wide bourbon triple glass actually helps a lot. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of a caramel.
Hey, do me a favor. Grab the caramel syrup out of there. It's in the refrigerator. There should be some vanilla under here. I thought I kept the vanilla. The vanilla may be back upstairs. I didn't hear you list vanilla in these tasting notes. So you're going to need to run upstairs and grab the vanilla. See if Jill can find it for me real quick.
Vanilla, you said you had it.
I have it. I was asking before we started filming this what the tasting notes were, and you didn't mention vanilla, so we don't have it down here now ready to throw in the thing. So it's got to be upstairs in the pantry. Caramel? Move move this out of the way so y'all can see what we're doing here. This sounds pretty good so far. It really does. And we've learned from the past to do just a little vanilla.
Proof on this does come in at 90, so it is a little bit higher proof than your very base expressions of things. But it doesn't smell strong at all. It's more of the rubbing alcohol note that does come through, if anything, versus like a proof note, you know. So
I'm not putting rubbing alcohol in it.
all right, let's give it a sip here, guys. Cheers, everyone. Well, I am pleasantly surprised so far. It still does have the fake cherry taste, but it has settled an extreme amount for me. More of the cinnamon toffee is coming through, which I can deal with.
Cinnamon. A little cinnamon goes a long way.
I can deal with all that all day. That's bourbon flavors I like. The cherry cough drop note is there, but it's not near as strong as when I first opened the bottle. I am glad to see this has opened up, and it's going to make it more drinkable down the road. That's for sure. So I'm happy about that. Sip 2 had more of that cherry flavor. I wish it was a deep rich.
All right, those are our tasting notes. Let's blend it up and see what we get. Did you take all these out?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I have a clean one.
What's your left?
What?
In that tub?
Huh?
In that tub over there?
Those are dirty too. All these are dirty. Here we are trying to film a video. We only have plain Glencairns. That's how prepared we are this morning. Hand me a paper towel underneath the thing over there. Alex is not going to be happy. My editor's not going to love me on this one because we're going to have like 47 minutes worth of footage for a 1 minute video because we're not prepared. We're trying to get more prepared just to get these out in higher numbers and to, batch these. Like realistically, we ought to be able to do 5 or 10 videos in an hour if we really had everything together and we're going after it. Dry that off for me if you would. Same thing there. Yeah, moment of truth. And the moment of truth got delayed, right? So we need the bottle of Makers, which I think I set over here so it wasn't blocking y'all's way. Oh, that's the 46. I need the OG Makers. Good?
Mm-hmm.
A little spotty, but all right. Make sure y'all can see. Can they see us? Show y'all just a little more here. All right, so we're going to compare this to just good old-fashioned Maker's Mark. Only the finest screw top. Now, a lot of y'all have asked me to strain this. We've got a lot of requests to strain it. So look at what I did. So smart. That smells awful. That smells awful. So let's start with that one, and then we'll try the Maker's Mark because we don't want to ruin the make. I need that to wash that out of my mouth. It looks like mud, like a chocolate milk. I'm always curious as to how those flavors combined together make something that is so terrible. Like none of those flavors by themselves are bad. Toffee, not bad. Cherry, pretty good. Vanilla, love it. Caramel, awesome. You blend them all together, you throw a little cinnamon in there, and you just get this foul nastiness. It tastes better than it smells. It's not good, but it is better than it smells. Like it smells just awful. We used a really high proof larceny because I figured we were watering it down with other stuff, but you get a ton of burn on that. A lot of cinnamon. It's like a really, really bad mixed drink. So don't try that at home. Now, Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark's not an exceptional whiskey to me. It's good. I like a lot of their limited release stuff, their wood finishing series, their higher proof stuff. But normal old Makers, just fine, but hands down better than these tasting notes. But I see where the guy comes from. So not exactly getting all of those flavors on it myself, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. I give people a grade and everybody gets, why'd you give them a C if his tasting notes are good? Because it sucked. Like the concoction sucked, right? So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to grade these, Karen? Overall, I get some of those notes, but I'm not picking up some of the things he's picking up. So we're gonna give him a C- on his tasting notes. Y'all let me know what you think. Do you like Maker's Mark? Do you pick up these tasting notes? Y'all let me know what you think. Do you pick up these tasting notes? I don't know. Let's not do that. We're dropping that at the end, right? We're not doing the call to action anymore anyway. So see if we can make a video out of that. Hit stop record on those for me, Will. And now, see, I just send all of that mess to my editor, and he makes something beautiful out of it. My sleep was moderately satisfactory. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Don't want to be drinking this crap this early in the morning. Leave at 5:30 this morning. Wow. Well, you always look bad on video. It's got to be the camera's fault. It can't be you. Can't be you. Well, thanks, Saucy. We're just hanging out. So hopefully, and you'll see these videos go up. They'll probably start releasing next week. You'll see some of these start to release. This is bad. Like, I thought this was going to have a chance, but it was not. You want to try it? Will? Just smell it. You give them your reaction of smelling this. You ain't even got to try it.
Doesn't smell that bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It smells like, it kind of smells like the one we did with a pancake. Like it's just, smells like throw up. And the 46 and the 46 cash strength. We've got a 46 over here. We were going to do a review. Start smoking some ribs. Nice. Usually only takes a few hours to smoke some ribs, right? I mean, you obviously got to get the fire and everything going. Oh, the editors make a lot of magic happen. Like we got to give them good content to work with, but they really ramp it up. A good editor makes a ton of difference. I used to edit all my old stuff, and I was pretty good at editing. But the one we've got now, Shred, as we call him, he does a really good job. He definitely takes it up a few notches from what I was doing when I was editing. But at the same time, he's got more time to spend on it. Like that's his focus, right? My focus, I've got a job. I'm having to not do my job this morning to film these things. And then I'm going to be gone tomorrow to try to buy a Lincoln. So, and my computer went to sleep again, even though I told it not to. Like, what in the world? What in the world is wrong with this thing? I got to get all this crap out of here. We're not doing another tasting notes, are we?
No,
We didn't have the stuff. Okay, so what's next?
Old Camp.
Old Camp. Have y'all tried it? Old Camp. Let me know in the chat. This is, let's get all this crap off the bar. This is Florida Georgia Line's whiskey, the band. And so I don't really want to put that down the sink. So we need to try to clean that out, maybe run upstairs or maybe, put it in a garbage disposal or throw it in the trash. I don't have a trash bag down here, so I'm not putting any.
Hey, you got a water bag.
I do. Put it over there. Yes, there you go. Perfect.
Put it on the board.
Hanging on the door.
Yeah.
Asshole. Here, this is what you get for that. I missed, by the way. I missed. We were having a discussion about hanging garbage bags on doors. My wife will do that sometimes. We run out of a garbage bag. She'll just hang like a Kroger sack on the door knob, and that becomes a trash can, and I hate it. Because it's a pain in the butt when you need to open that door. Then it's just hard to go through the door. All right. So we're going to film that one. Let's rinse this Glencairn out for that. Just throw those back there. Thank you. You're going to drive me to drink it if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So, Tim, when that song was popular in the 90s, it kind of had a resurgence in the 90s. We used to call the radio station, South 106 in Columbus, Georgia. We would me and some friends would get together on Saturday night, and we would call the station and request the song. And they didn't have it. Like, it just wasn't a super popular song, but for some reason or another, we were listening to it. But it was, some radio stations around were playing it a little bit. And we'd call and request it and request it and request it. We'd request it like 10 times a night. And it finally took them to see how long it would take. They were like, well, we'll see if we got it. It took them 4 weeks of us calling 10 times a night every Saturday before they finally had the song to play it. And we thought we had won something. Like it was Maker's Mark. Nothing wrong with Maker's Mark, but not. I feel like the oak overpowers it a bit. Like it's a little too kind of bitter oaky for me compared to the sweetness, right? I want a little more sweetness. And so some of their higher proof stuff, I feel like it's a little better balanced. Even the Maker's 101, I feel like it's a good bit better balanced than that. She does the same thing with store bags. I feel for you. 2 bags hanging on my doors in my room. It drives me nuts. Those just went to sleep, but it's fine. You just have to cut them off and cut them back on before we start recording. So, all right. So what are we going to say? What are we going to say about Florida Georgia Line? How do y'all think in the chat, the folks who have showed up? How many folks we got watching? 14 people in here. For those that can type, that are not being held hostage and forced to watch this, how should we open this video? What should the hook be? What is going to get people's attention the most talking about Old Camp by Florida Georgia Line? How should we open it? Give me the opening right here. Give it to me. And if it's good, I'll use it. Don't take offense if I don't think it's good. Because I got an opening in mind that's pretty good. And if y'all can't beat mine, then I'm going to use mine. Yes, Daniel, I think they did. Yes. And I don't know if they broke up, but they're both pursuing solo careers. We're going to wet the bar down for this too. We're going to slide the bottle in. I don't know if y'all see those sliding bottle shots.
Can we ever slide that one in?
Yeah. Why would we not?
It's just got a little small base to it.
Yeah. Well, if it falls and breaks, that's probably the best use of this whiskey, to be honest with you. And that would make a hell of a video. Love the sliding bottle shots. There we go. So what we do is we just wet the bar and then we just, when we try, I keep sliding it until the label stays right like that. So try to get the label straight. Independent Joe, what's going on, man? We're just doing a little behind the scenes. We're filming some videos here and having a good time. So we're about to do Florida Georgia Line's Old Camp Peach Pecan Whiskey. 70 proof. Do you know what the MSRP is on this, William? Can you look that up for me real quick?
Yeah, like $40, I think.
$40? Okay. Do we need another celeb whiskey? No, but dang, they're good reviews, man. People love me making fun of them. People love me making fun of them for some reason or another.
On this website it says $19.99.
Huh?
On one website it says $19.99.
Okay. MSRP says $19.99.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of $19.49.
Okay, so $20. All right. We probably paid a little more than that, but we got it at the secondary store here. So we on? We live? We are live. All right. Audio's rolling. Camera 1, camera 2. Let's go ahead and do the bottle shot. That was pretty good. All right, and we'll do it again in a minute while I'm talking. This is Florida Georgia Line, and this is Old Camp, their peach pecan whiskey. Is this the reason they broke up? I don't know. Let's find out. What do you think of that? You think that's a good one? Is that going to work? It is some light-looking whiskey. Like, Lord have mercy. Look at it. Oh. Cameras have gotten turned a little bit, but anyway. This is Florida. This is the band Florida Georgia Line. And this is Old Camp, their peach pecan whiskey. Is this the reason they broke up? I don't know. Let's find out and do a bourbon review, or actually, and do a whiskey review of Old Camp. Spot on and seen. Okay. All right. Now, this guy right here is extremely light. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I put a light behind it, but that is an extremely thin and light whiskey. It comes in at 70 proof, which is probably part of the problem. It is MSRP. So it comes in at about 70 proof, which could be part of the reason it's so light. It's just really watered down. It is about $20-ish MSRP based on what the internet tells me. And I don't, if you put peaches and pecan in your whiskey, it's probably not a good sign that you started with really great whiskey. Like, why would you start with great whiskey and put peaches and pecan flavoring in it? I have no idea. But you can't really call this a bourbon or anything. Like, it's just a whiskey with natural flavors. So they took some whiskey and they put some crap in it to make it taste like peaches and pecans. Nice screw top. All the finest whiskeys come with a metal screw top. The bottle shape is kind of nice. You know, it's like a flask style. It's kind of got this rounded back to it. So you can hold it or, you know, slide it into your pants leg to sneak it into a football game or something. Whatever people who drink this crap do. I'm not real sure. Oh, it smells so much like peaches. Not quite as sweet smelling as the peach crown we tried. More like you drank the peach crown and then threw that up. Probably a little more like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's probably the pecan that's coming through, but it definitely has a peach aroma to it. Okay, all sugar and peach sweetness. I assume this is aimed at a younger demographic, right? It's 70 proof. It's $20. It is really, really sweet and flavored. All in all, probably not a terrible mixer. Use this instead of some peach schnapps, throw it in some orange juice or something, make a mixed drink with it. It's drinkable in a Glencairn, but it's not good that way. It is just really, really sweet, sugar forward, definitely a mixer. So as far as mixers go, for the demographic that Florida Georgia Line is trying to reach, it's fine. It's nothing wrong with it. You can have a good time. This will make for a really nice weekend doing whatever young people do. I'm way too old to know what young people do at this point. What do the whippersnappers do? I think that's the end of that one. We're just doing a short on this. So for some reason, every store is sold out of Virginia. Yeah, we've been trying to find Virginia Black. We're gonna get it, but it's just not around here. On the Alabama-Georgia line, exactly. That would have been pretty good, Daniel. You're a little behind, or I'm way ahead, but that actually would have been pretty good. I think mine was better though. Riding four-wheelers. Good call, Tim. Good call. That's what the whippersnappers do. What are we trying next, Will?
Let's do the bird dog.
All right, let's make sure everything's stopped.
Yeah, I already got it.
Okay. Let me rinse this out. I got to get this peach out of
It
here.
actually is not that bad.
It's not that bad. I said it was fine, right? I didn't give it. Is that a bad review? Did I give it a bad review?
Well, you said as you as an older person, you don't care for it.
I don't. Like, I'm not going to lie.
It ain't bad though.
I said it wasn't bad, didn't I? I said it's just fine, whatever whippersnappers are doing these days. Like, that's literally what I said. Riding four-wheelers. It's good for riding four-wheelers.
Right. You're probably gonna hate this next one even more.
No doubt. No doubt.
Slide that bottle, that'd be funny.
We're going to. Hit the record button. Might need a little more water here. This one doesn't have the weight. That was it right there. Hey, girls. Ava, I'm recording. Would y'all close the door, please? Okay, that's better. Leave. I didn't tell them to leave. It is a little bottle. It is a little bitty body bottle. What's the proof on this? I can't even see what the proof on this. It says right here, it's just tiny little print. Looks like 80 proof.
80 proof, yeah.
And it is chocolate flavored whiskey. This is a tiny ass bottle of Bird Dog chocolate flavored whiskey. Let's give it a try and do a review. I don't even know what to say. Like when the bottle slides in, because we just said the name. Do we really need chocolate in our whiskey? Probably not. But let's do a review of Bird Dog chocolate whiskey.
What if you could flip it and make it land?
This is what the whippersnappers do right here, isn't it? This is what young people are doing with this crap. They're just like, this is what they're doing. There's a guy on TikTok that just does trick shots, and you just sit there and watch him live for like hours on TikTok trying to do trick shots. It's a plastic bottle.
Almost hit it.
All right, 2 more tries. Done. Do we need chocolate in our whiskey? Probably not. But let's do a review of Bird Dog chocolate flavored whiskey. I'm going to look up there when I do that. Do we need chocolate in our whiskey? Probably not. But let's do a review of Bird Dog. I didn't look up there. Do we need chocolate in our whiskey? Probably not. But let's do a review of Bird Dog chocolate whiskey. All right. First of all, thank God it's a small bottle and I don't have a whole 750 milliliters of this crap laying around when we're done here. But we get a lot of requests for Bird Dog, and here we are giving it a try. This comes in at 90 proof. I have no idea what this costs. I'm not going to look it up because I'm never going to buy any more of it. What's wrong?
80 proof.
Okay.
Said mine.
This comes in at 80 proof, and I have no idea what it costs because I'm never going to buy any more of it ever. It smells like really bad chocolate. It smells like, not like a chocolate candy bar, but like a really cheap cocoa powder. Like the Kroger brand cocoa powder. Maybe Rainbow Foods cocoa powder. And it tastes like I took Rainbow Foods cocoa powder and sugar and added it into a mediocre whiskey. Now, I'm sure that plus something might be pleasant, right? But what do I add to that to make it pleasant? Let's try some screwball. Where's the screwball at? Screwball's down there. Grab that screwball for me. All right, so let's at least try to make like a peanut butter chocolate shot or something here, okay? But there's so much sugar on both of these that I'm sure this is just going to be overwhelming. That is better than either of those two on their own. I will give you that. That is better than either of them on their own. Over a little ice, probably could have an okay time on that, but I need some stuff to tame down that sweetness. Let me know what I should put in this to cut that sweetness down. Little bottle. Hey, don't be knocking people because they got little bottles, man. Thank you, Daniel. Works better when they're half full. I'm just not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. This is what you expect to be paid back for this one? Just let me know. I get it. I square you away. It's not the combined is better than either of them on their own for sure. Yeah. Let's do this one. Is the bag white? It's gray. What is it?
You'd think it'd be white.
I know. What's wrong with these people? Yeah, I may need to wash another one before we start real quick because I don't want to use that Glencairn. Don't want to use it. So what are we're just doing a review of that?
That's what?
The Crown Vanilla. What are we supposed to put Crown Vanilla in? Is there like some sort of drink? Is there something on the box that you're supposed to use it for?
No,
I love how the peach is like, here's some crap you should do with this. But every other one is just like, we blended and artfully crafted and all of this nonsense. They must not like the peach. They're like, hey, mix it. Thought that was my Glencairn there for a second. I'm going to be honest with you.
When I used to drink it with Coke or like a root beer float. So good. Root beer float is amazing.
I don't think we have any root beer.
Yeah, ice cream?
No, probably not.
Ice cream and Coke.
I got some bourbon cream in there.
You
But then, like, what is that going to do?
Yeah.
That
Mix
needs.
it in Coke. You got Coke right
You
there.
got Coke? I got Coke. Okay. All right. So,
You should mix all three of them together.
all three of what?
The Crown Apple, Crown Vanilla, and Crown Peach.
Well, the Crown Peach is gone.
Oh.
That got drank. So, that got drank. Sorry about that. You want to go hit the record button on those?
Yep. They go back to sleep, are they good?
No, they're good. All right. Camera 1, camera 2, and audio is going. This is Crown Vanilla, and I keep having to do these reviews because y'all keep watching them. Let's do a bourbon. It's not bourbon. This is Crown Vanilla, and I keep having to do these because y'all keep watching them. Nah, let's do. This is Crown Vanilla, and I keep having to do these because y'all keep requesting them. Let's do that, see if we can trump up the requests. Went to sleep over here. Went to sleep. So let's do a whiskey review of Crown Vanilla. Let's do a whiskey review of Crown Vanilla. I don't have to have the audio at the right time. They can sync it. So that's pretty good. Really nice crown screw top. Now, I've enjoyed the apple and the peach. The peach actually got drank. We started mixing that into tea and had some folks over for a football game, and that got gone. The apple, we're actually drinking it. We're going through a lot more of this flavored crown and getting a lot more use out of it than I thought, using a lot of y'all's suggestions to make really nice drinks. So I figured this would be kind of fun to continue down the line and see if I could give this one a try as well. So you obviously smell a lot of vanilla. Like the vanilla is just overwhelming. But it's really kind of an artificial vanilla, as you would expect. On the palate, that's kind of interesting. It's sweet. It's what I like about these crowns is it's not super oversweet like a lot of the flavored liqueurs that we've tried here, like a Screwball or that Bird Dog. This one is sweet, but it's not too sweet. A lot of vanilla. It has kind of an interesting texture and kind of velvety mouthfeel to it. Honestly, as far as like enjoyability in a Glencairn, this is probably the best one out of the three that we've tried so far. But let's pour this maybe on a little Coke and give it a try. So I have a little Coke Zero here because, you know, calories. Very highly professional stir job here. And a really nice vanilla Coke. Like, that's not bad at all. What would you put Crown Vanilla in? That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. What should I try next with Crown Vanilla? That's not bad at all. What should I try next with Crown Vanilla? All right, it's done. See, shorts are not that hard, right? Great mixer. Nothing wrong with Coke Zero. And I don't, you know, I should be doing Pepsi at this point. I should be trying for a Pepsi sponsorship. You know, we've kind of got a meme going with me mixing stuff with Pepsi. How many folks are hanging out with us?
20.
20. Y'all are nuts, man. Y'all are absolutely insane, wasting your day hanging out with me. What time is it?
It's 10:30.
So I still got an hour and a half. Nice. What time does my call actually start today?
12, I think.
The big commerce call starts at 12. So I definitely probably need to grab something to eat before then. Maybe. I don't know. I can eat during the next I can eat after that call. It's all good. What else are we filming?
The Glencairns.
The Glencairns.
That's the last video scheduled.
I don't love that video right now. I need to think about what that one's going to be. We do have a Maker's Mark 46 versus Maker's Mark.
Let's just do a weird review then. Flapjack.
No. I mean, we could do the Maker's 46. We've got.
You try beer?
We haven't. Do I have a beer?
You have some beer in there.
Oh, an IPA. Oh, go get that. Go grab the IPAs we've got. Are they down here?
Yeah.
What do you guys mix? Saucy. Thank you for pimping the thumbs up button. The Garrison on the top shelf. That's actually a good call, Miracle. We'll do that review right now. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you hanging out. So I got these ice ball molds, and we're going to be giving one of these away here pretty soon. I tested them out last night or night before last. These are the best ice ball molds I've ever used, as far as like the size of them being pretty small and being able to get a lot of them in the freezer, and the ease of getting the ice actually out of this guy. Now, it's got one little problem where I have a hard time getting it full, but that may have been on me. So I want to try it again and make sure. But I'm going to film this one here pretty soon. They said the Garrison Brothers. Can you reach the Garrison Brothers up there? Just get the one in the back that's already, or maybe we open that one. That one's not even open. Bring it out. That's good.
Yeah, I was hoping that would have been on the list for Texas.
That's what we're going to do. Well, we're just going to do Texas whiskey because Texas whiskey hits different. Texas whiskey hits different. Let me get the bar ready. We'll film. We've got all the beard oil stuff we've got to do here pretty soon, but I'm trying to figure out something interesting to do with that.
I'm interested in seeing if the IPA is going to do well.
The IPA, that'd be fun.
We haven't done anything like that.
We haven't done anything beer related, so that'll be fun to see. Do y'all let me know? Do y'all like doing stuff other than bourbon? Like we've really been debating here. You know, are we a bourbon channel? Are we an alcohol channel? Are we a whiskey channel? You know, what content? Where's our limits? Like, where are our boundaries on what we're trying to do? Now, the long form, the longer videos we do are very much going to be bourbon centric and bourbon focused. But on the shorts, we feel like we can kind of venture out, and maybe that'll help us be an olive branch to kind of get more people into bourbon, which is what, you know, I'm really passionate about. Like, I'm not going to be drinking Bird Dog, or I would never have bought Old Camp Pecan Peach Whiskey outside of creating a video around it. Trying to get into drinking bourbons and acquiring a taste for it. There you go. See, that's what we're talking about, Jackson. So what you want to do is you want to go get, if you can find it, first of all, you want to start with low proof. Start with 90 proof bourbons, right? So like a Buffalo Trace, a little harder to find. An Eagle Rare, if you can find it. I just drank this Eagle Rare and I haven't opened another one yet. But so this Eagle Rare, if you can find it, but those are kind of hard to come by. I would suggest something that's easy to come by is maybe trying like an Old Forester 86 proof, like this right here. An Elijah Craig small batch. I don't have a small batch, but I do, but this is a store pick, but it's going to be a bottle like this, Elijah Craig small batch, something like that. And then let's talk after that, right? Try maybe like a benchmark small batch. If you can find it, it's like a $20 whiskey. So none of the whiskeys I just told you are super expensive. Eagle Rare can be marked up, but that's a $30 bottle. Buffalo Trace is $25. This is like $17 or so. I don't know what the Elijah Craig is, but it's not super expensive. So start low proof and start cheap and try a bunch of different stuff. And then come back and we can kind of build on what you liked and what you didn't like, right? And then if you didn't like it, you only wasted $20 on it. Started as a hot sauce and spicy channel, now moving into the whiskey world. Awesome. Hey, make sure I'll make sure I'm following you there, Saucy, if I'm not. Try all the big brand entry bourbon, see what you like. Exactly, Daniel. I tend to try to get people to start with a Buffalo Trace product, a benchmark, just because it's so popular for a reason. It's widely appealing. And then, kind of move from there. All right, so you're going to go over there and hit those cameras for me? They're gone to sleep. Got to cut them off, come back on. Yeah, absolutely, Saucy. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Texas whiskey hits different. Let me get down here. Texas whiskey hits different. You better be ready before you break off into a Garrison Brothers. Texas whiskey hits different. You better prepare yourself before you break off into something like this. Let's do a bourbon review of Garrison Brothers. Let's do a bourbon review of Garrison Brothers single barrel. Do the bottle slide. Perfect. Very good. Yes. Encouragement. Perfect. Went and gave you a sub. Yeah. Make sure we're subbed. I don't think Will can sub for me. I'll have to make sure I'm subbed. I'll do that here in a bit. Remind me that I got to make sure I'm subbed. Let me do this while I'm looking at the camera. So Texas gets extremely hot, and heat has an interesting impact on bourbon. Obviously, it's absorbing a lot more of that bourbon into the barrel. So when a whiskey is in an extremely hot environment, it tends to come out a lot more flavorful in a lot fewer years. And the flavor profile, because of that, is oftentimes very different. Whereas like a Kentucky bourbon that's been going for 7 or 8 years is going to come out oftentimes with a lot of, sweet, vibrant, fruity flavors. Texas, on the other hand, once it's going for about 4 years, it's going to come out with a lot of tobacco, mesquite, oaky, really strong flavors. And this Garrison Brothers is no exception to that. Like, this smells like an old shoe that somebody stored in a humidor, right? It's just all tobacco and leather and oak. That's all you get on the nose. And this palate is probably going to follow through on that. Oh yeah, it's definitely, kind of dry, a little bit of bitter oak on it. Definitely this strong kind of leathery tobacco flavor, which I find interesting. Now, this is a flavor profile that really had to grow on me. And this one, this single barrel, is a good bit more bitter than the small batch that I'm accustomed to. But I had to really get into this. The first time we tried this whiskey, I didn't like it at all. And it really sat there for a while. And then one day I picked it up and the flavor just hit me right. And I absolutely loved it. And we drank most of the bottle that night, me and a couple of friends. So this is not for everybody. But if you love those really deep tobacco flavors, that kind of leathery oakiness, then you can't go wrong with a Texas whiskey, and especially not Garrison Brothers. All right, into that. See, that's what I'm saying, Rain. You got to be into it. Like, you got to be into that. You got to be into it. And honestly, this one is not as good. The single barrel, I had another single barrel that was much better than this. The small batch up there, I like it in small quantities occasionally. But most of the time, that's not something I'm going to love for sure. What else we got? The beer, IPA. Is this one a twist off, or do I need the bottle opener?
I'm not sure. I've never had that before.
We'll figure it out as we get there.
I got a.
There should be a bottle opener. You got one? Is that a bottle opener? It'll work, yeah. Why are all the hipsters drinking IPAs? I can't usually stand them. Let's give this one a review. What is that? Lagunitas IPA? Lagunitas IPA? All the hipsters love IPAs. So let's do a review of Lagunitas. Wait, what are you, Lagunitas or Lagunitas? What are y'all thinking? Lagunitas. All the hipsters love their IPAs. So let's do a review of Lagunitas IPA. All the hipsters love their IPAs. So let's do a review of Lagunitas India Pale Ale. What's it turning? Not a good bottle opener. I'm not into super malty or super hoppy things. Now, with a beer, I could take malt a little more than I can on a whiskey, but hops, it just tastes like grapefruit to me. This is not a thing that I go seeking out. Like bitter grapefruit flavors are just not a good time. So I'm not sure all of the hype around IPAs. But, you know, I'm willing to try just about anything once. And it's that. It's just sharp bitterness. Like it is just a carbonated grapefruit beverage. That's all I'm getting on it. Now, as far as IPAs go, I don't find this one as unpleasant as a lot of them. So credit to Lagunitas for making an okay IPA. And it's not their fault that this is bad. Just IPAs in general are bad. Like, who's with me? Who's drinking these beers? If I go down to the local store, all the craft beer they have are IPAs. Who's drinking this crap? Why can't I get a decent amber or brown ale? Let's do that again. If I go down to the local store, all they've got in the craft section are freaking IPAs. Who's drinking this crap? Why is it all IPAs? What does it take for a man to get a decent brown ale? We're just going to go bitchy Karen on that one. Did I even have it recording? It wasn't even recorded. You didn't even have it recorded.
Yeah, dude.
No, they're not recording. None of that was recorded. None of that was recording. Jay likes IPAs. Now we got to go get another one. Let's do it again. You might as well turn them off now while you go get another beer. So we got to do that again. I'd rather drink a Busch Light. Yeah, I'd rather drink that crap we blended. No, I wouldn't do that. You're right. I'll take the IPA. Lagunitas. Can't be Lagunitas. Lagunitas. But it can't be a Stas. There's no S there before the T. Lagunitas. Bush Apple and Screwball. Sounds horrible. I'll be honest. It sounds horrible. Mixed with Screwball, though?
All
right. Let's do this. Let's actually record it this time.
Okay. One.
Like, you don't need some big countdown.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. We're going to edit these. This is not a live stream. It's not like 20 people are watching us live or anything.
Where's the
Right there, the bottle opener. What?
Take one, take two.
Oh, it's in yonder. All the hipsters are into IPAs these days. I snorted. Lord. All the hipsters are into IPAs these days. So let's give all the hipsters are into IPAs these days. So let's do a review of Lagunitas India Pale Ale. And I got the perfect bottle slide on that too. And now I got to redo it. I think that'll do. IPAs, for the most part, just taste like grapefruit to me. Like, it's just a carbonated grapefruit beverage. If you just gave me some sort of grapefruit spritzer, it would be about the same thing. So I'm not sure about, if you just gave me a grapefruit spritzer, it'd be about the same thing to me. So yeah, just sharp, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of sweetness on it. But I don't get the hype. Like, why would anybody voluntarily do this? Why would you drink an IPA? I go down to the convenience store, and in the craft section, all they have are freaking IPAs. Who's drinking this crap? What does it take for a guy to get a decent brown ale every once in a while? There you go. Simple enough. It's just me Karen bitching about the whole process. It might be like a 30-second video. That'd be a good test.
Should throw a wig on as soon as you started bitching like that.
Yeah. Whoa, get that taste out of my mouth. What are we filming now? Is that it? Are we out? Are we done?
That's 7 videos.
Is that 7 videos?
Yeah.
Well, we still got time. What could we film? Did the Garrison Brothers. Get that Jack Sinatra up there. A lot of folks ask about that. I get a lot of questions about that. We also get a ton of questions about Angel going while I'm asleep. I think it shuts down.
No, it don't.
Make sure my audio is running. If you're not aware of them milking it for like 50 freaking years, Frank Sinatra used to drink Jack Daniels. And this is Sinatra Select that was released well after he died. Let's do a bourbon. Ooh, voice crack. Voice crack. If you're not aware of them milking it for like 50 freaking years, Frank Sinatra used to drink Jack Daniels. This is Sinatra Select that came out well after Frank Sinatra was dead. So he didn't approve this or have anything to freaking do with it. But let's do a review of Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. One more time. If you're not aware of them milking it for like 50 freaking years, Frank Sinatra used to drink Jack Daniels. Now, this is Jack Daniels Sinatra Select, which came out well after Frank Sinatra died. So he absolutely didn't drink this. But let's do a bourbon review of Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. Y'all like that one? Is that a good intro? And that's what y'all, I mean, if y'all, I don't know if y'all are content creators. I know Saucy said he was doing some stuff. When you're doing a short, it is really, really about the hook. So the hook, the first second of the video has to be something. So the first second is me slamming a bottle down and saying something very emphatically. This, or, you know, something like that, right? And then, so that buys you a few seconds. That buys you a few, all that does is buy you a few seconds for the intro. And then you do the intro, and the intro has to catch them, and that buys you another 15 or 20 seconds. And you'll notice 15 or 20 seconds, we try to add some humor or something funny in there, if possible. So I don't think I have a clean blend, do I? And then that buys you more time, right? So all you're doing with shorts, you basically get a second, and then you get that second buys you 5 more seconds, and then maybe 10 more seconds, and then you've got to do something that buys you another 20 or 30. And then hopefully, you know, you do something else interesting in that 20 or 30, and that buys you a view to the end of the video. Like, it is literally that game. So you can't, you know, the problem with bourbon content is most of these bourbon folks are like, you know, they want to get into it really slow. And, you know, the first 30 seconds of their video may be an intro. Like, it may be them rolling some, you know, audio, video intro. Did we lose? Or there they are, paper towels. You know, some intro that, you know, has a bunch of music and stuff, which is cool. Like, there are places for those. But you can't do that kind of stuff, and definitely not with shorts. Like, you got to really get right into it. Oh, did I call it a bourbon? Well, we're going to have to reshoot that, Daniel. Yeah, we're going to have to reshoot that. Yes, I'm going to get called out, and I'm going to have to reshoot that because it's not, I mean, I don't mind being called out. Honestly, leaving something like that in probably leads to more views just because everybody will comment that it's not a bourbon, and that would actually get me more views. But we are trying to be factually accurate. So we are going to refilm that intro. Good call there. Thanks, Daniel. See, that's why I keep y'all around. Keep me straight. Yeah. So all we got to do is do the audio, because honestly, we wouldn't show my face during that anyway. That would be during the bottle slide. So we can't say bourbon. So let's do a whiskey review of Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. Let's do a whiskey review of Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. All right, so that'll work. Good call. Good call. Daniel saved me from a bunch of hateful comments. Probably cost me 100,000 views. What do you think? Daniel cost me about 100,000 views right there. But I don't look as much like an idiot. Although I've just embraced the idiot part of it. You know, that's just kind of part of the role we play. play here. The world's worst bartender and least helpful whiskey reviewer. That's our motto now. That's in the channel art. Jack Daniel's Sinatra Select is about $150 MSRP when you can find it. And it comes in this huge 1 liter bottle. And it comes in a box and a book and all of these fancy things to let you know that it's special. But realistically, what I'm interested in is the whiskey on the inside. And as you can see, I've drank a little of this over the years, but it's been quite some time. This has been sitting on my shelf for a while. So it'll be fun to kind of break into this and see if it lives up to the hype. Now, this Sinatra Select is 90 proof, bold, smooth, classic Tennessee whiskey distilled by Jack Daniel's. So I'm expecting a lot of those Jack Daniel flavor notes. And you get that on the nose, right? That kind of charcoal, nutty oakiness that you get in a Jack Daniel's. And it follows through on that. So old number 7, like good old number 7 Jack Daniel's, is not something I would ever sip neat in a Glencairn. Like, it's just not that level of whiskey to me. It's great as a mixer. You put it on Coke, it is magical. But neat in a Glencairn, it's just not up to that level. And honestly, not a lot of 90 proof whiskeys are. This one, on the other hand, is an exception to that. You get that interesting kind of nice Jack Daniel's flavor to it. Absolutely no burn whatsoever. This is like drinking water. It just goes down so smooth. And that's really what they're trying to market it to, right? That super smooth, super easy to sip, but Glencairn worthy Jack Daniel's. And I think they've done a really good job on that. Well, Jack Daniel's is bourbon in every regards, except for they filter it through charcoal. Literally, it is bourbon in every way, except for they filter it through charcoal, which makes it not a bourbon, technically. Hope I don't have to do too many takes. Tyler, what's going on, man? No, we're good. Sometimes we got to go through 3 or 4, but that's all good. That's what it takes to get it right? You got to have a good hook. You got to have a good... Got to have a good video. Hopefully you're not too busy at work today. Must not be too busy if you're here. But thanks for joining and hanging out. We got one more video we're going to shoot. What time is it? 11. We got a whole nother hour if we wanted to, though. We're getting through these pretty quick. That's the thing. Like, we just shot 8 videos. So we've shot 8 videos. So now we've got, and we only try to release 4 or so a week. We might drop 5 next week, you think? Is that what you're thinking with these?
I was trying to get the wide out.
Just film a bunch, but I mean, how are you going to release them? Because he can have you one. Like, these could all be edited pretty quick. You think we're going to drop 5 next week?
You can try it.
Try to keep the momentum up, right? Like, we got a lot of momentum on YouTube and TikTok, so it'd be nice to kind of keep that momentum up. Even though a couple of these are kind of experimental, right? Like, we're doing a freaking beer for the first time. Like, that's crazy. Just working on vulnerabilities. I understand that. Sounds like fun. Lux Row charcoal filters the Ezra Brooks line of bourbon. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they don't do it the same. So you're talking about, let's see. Where's the Ezra Brooks? Here's the Ezra Brooks. So you sure about, like, I do think they charcoal filter these. Interesting that you would say they charcoal filter this, because I think you're right. I think they do. But it literally says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey on it. Interesting. Interesting. It's all marketing, right? Realistically, it's all marketing. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Do y'all like these behind the scenes? I mean, obviously, y'all are hanging out. If y'all enjoy these, we will try to continue to do this when we film a bunch of videos in a row. So I would like to get to where we're doing this once a week, to where we just get together and we film 7 or 8 or 10 videos a week, and then, you know, hang out with y'all. So if y'all like these, then that's awesome. Hopefully it doesn't keep you from watching hopefully you can see the video and it actually makes it more fun, right? Because you were there when we filmed it and you see the difference in what we shot and what the editor, Alex Shred, is actually able to put together for us. Good background noise. Great. Yeah, we're definitely not the A-roll right now. That's for sure. And I understand these are almost always going to be the middle of the day, and they're always going to be random because I don't know what time of day we're going to be filming and that kind of thing. So they're always going to be semi-random, unfortunately. What are we filming? Angel's Envy.
I like the Angel's Envy. It's pretty good.
Rolling. This is Angel's Envy port finished whiskey. Port finished bourbon finished in port wine barrels. This is Angel's Envy This is Angel's Envy bourbon finished in port wine barrels. Now, normally, if you're going to put whiskey in a port wine barrel, it's because it's not good whiskey. Now, normally, if you're putting whiskey in port wine barrels, you're either starting with a bad whiskey and you're trying to cover it up, or you're just ruining good whiskey. But let's do a review of Angel's Envy port wine finish. Let's do a review of Angel's Envy. Let's do a review of Angel's Envy. I think that was a good slide, but let's get one more. Come on, a little further. I put a little more. I got to get a little more water on the. Trying not to scratch up my top. The guy who made my bar is going to come back in and be like, "What the heck did you do?" That's pretty good right there. Did I even have the audio going? I did. We're good. All right, we're good. I'm not a huge fan of finished whiskey typically, but when I do enjoy it, it's usually finished in some sort of other wood barrel. So it's a toasted barrel, a double oaked, maybe a French oak stave finish or something like that. When they take them and they put them in wine barrels, it just adds an artificial sweetness to it typically. But Angel's Envy hits it a little differently. So I get a little bit of that artificial sweetness, a little of that port wine sweetness on the nose. But it's actually a really pleasant bourbon with just a subtle hint of that port finish. And when it's subtle like that, it just enhances the bourbon a little bit and doesn't detract from it like most finished whiskeys do. And so Angel's Envy for me is one of those really rare exceptions. I don't love port finishes, but as far as port finish bourbon goes, this is my favorite. That's good stuff. All right, that's it. I'm in Alabama, Ralph. From Alabama, in Alabama, born and raised. I mean, I moved like an hour away from my hometown. So, yeah, Camtain's got it nailed down right there. All right, so what's that, 9 videos? We got almost 2 weeks worth of content. We do have the water video. What can we do with the water? We have the rum. Let's film the rum and see if it works. Okay. Let's just see if it works. Like, we may not use it. This is one of those videos we're just going to experiment with, and we may not use it. But Diplomatico. Let me rinse it in real quick. is Diplomatico rum. And this is what a friend said was their absolute favorite rum on the planet. So let's do a review of Diplomatico. Now, I am immune to bourbon. I can drink as much bourbon as possible, very little, if any, ill effects. But every story that ends with me almost getting arrested or dying begins with either rum or tequila. So typically, I just stay away from the stuff. So I'm not super experienced in rum, but this was an interesting looking bottle, and a friend did give it to me. So I feel like it's worth giving it a try and giving it a review. Now, I don't know anybody who drinks rum in a Glencairn, but we are. Smells super sweet. Obviously very rum forward, right? There's some interesting notes there. And I think that there's almost like a kind of a little bit of a bitter, like almost rubber flavor to it though, that makes it probably not great for a Glencairn, but I think that could be an exceptional rum. It's really light. It has some nice savory flavors to it. And I think if you were mixing it with something, that would actually be really good. And honestly, it's not terrible just to sip. Probably over ice would be a pretty solid pour. So let me know your thoughts on Diplomatico rum. And maybe we just cut it off at the end. Hold on, let me make sure everything was recording. We good? No audio. No freaking audio. We're getting sloppy. I'm getting sloppy. That was me. Just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. Actually, stop them and start them. Because that way he don't have to go through all of that freaking video we just recorded with no audio. All right, so that's why we check. Camera A, camera B. The drunker I get, the less we check things, and sometimes we have to refilm things. Like that happens. Well, I've come in here and filmed like 4 videos the other day, and then they were all freaking blurry because one of the cameras was out of focus. So this is Diplomatico, and one of my friends says this is the best rum he's ever had. Let's do a review of Diplomatico. This is the best rum one of my friends says he's ever had. This was a gift from a friend who says this is his favorite rum. Let's do a review of Diplomatico. We've got the slide in. Just take the slide in from the last one, so send him that footage. I mean, he got some audio to figure out. The dogs have got to shut up, though. I don't know why they didn't lock them up. So every story that ends with me either almost dying or going to jail starts with rum or tequila. I'm completely immune to bourbon. I can drink all of it with, very little ill consequences. But you get me on rum or tequila, and I'm down for a bad time. So I usually stay away from the stuff. So I'm not super experienced when it comes to rum. This one has kind of an interesting aroma to it. There's kind of a rich fullness to the aroma. And then on the palate, it delivers on a lot of that. There's really interesting flavors going on. I can't pin all of them. There's a little bit of an odd kind of rubber taste to it. It's a little weird, but otherwise extremely, extremely pleasant. And honestly, the rubber is not super strong or completely off-putting. So not something I would typically drink neat in a Glencairn. Like, I don't know anybody who drinks rum in a Glencairn, but over ice or in some sort of mixed drink, I think this could be exceptional. So what are your thoughts on Diplomatico? All right, got that out of the way. Like the first one best? Yeah, sorry, I kind of screwed that first one up. But they got the Diplomatico. You want to see Will? Is that what he said? Will RQ? What does RQ mean?
That means real quick.
Okay, come on, go look.
Okay.
He wants it. Will wants
All
to.
right.
You're on now. You're the guy now.
Yep, I'm gonna drink some IPA.
Hey, take that IPA and finish it for me.
There's two of them though.
Now get the hell out of here. I'm the star of this show. Be taking my spotlight. Too many takes of the rum, and I will be in trouble. Randy Anderson. That's not like Randy Anderson of Alexander City, is it? New side area. I don't know. I know a Randy Anderson. He's a very handsome boy. He looks just like his mother, which is good because I like the way his mother looks. You know, it's kind of a healthy thing for me. Yeah, rum's not my thing though. Oh, like I just know that's gonna go awry. Like I just know that's gonna go awry. Thank you, Saucy. I appreciate that. I am having a pretty good day so far. We'll see. I've got a couple of calls. So I got a call at noon. It's a marketing call with an e-commerce platform. We're going to do some stuff for SEMA. Like we do a lot of automotive stuff. So I've got a marketing call with them at noon. And I'm going to be obviously feeling pretty good for that marketing call. So that's going to be fun. And then we got a sales call. We got a sales call with a really big fishing brand this afternoon, but I don't have to do much for that. Like I'm just kind of there for moral support. And if any questions come up, so I don't really just have to listen to that one for the most part. So that'll be fun. I've got, good team that handles those sales that does a great job with those. We haven't hit 30K yet. Lord have mercy. What's wrong? What's wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Do we have it? Like we have.
Hey, that jumped up fast.
What?
20 subs since you said that.
Yeah, 20 subs since you said that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have this old limestone mixing water. Somebody sent us this. Just moved to Texas. Oh, the Bastard's Ball just happened. I didn't know about it. Like I knew it was a thing that they did on the regular, but I didn't know when. I'm gonna try to make it next year though. That'll be fun. But now I go to Austin a lot. Like I usually end up in Austin 2 or 3 times a year. But I wasn't aware of that. And we're kind of new to YouTube, right? We've only been posting on YouTube on the regular since July 5th, which is what is just crazy about the views and the subscribers that we've been able to garner from that. It's just nuts. So we're still kind of figuring out everybody's meetups and get-togethers and that kind of thing. What could we do with limestone filtered water?
Drink it straight.
Well, the question is do we wait and do a video where we try this in different waters?
That'd be cool.
And see if it makes any difference, right? Like we could try this versus distilled water in a whiskey and just see which one's better. But I've drank a lot, so I don't know if I could taste a whole lot of difference, right? Like this is not like the first pour of the day or anything. Nice, Rick. Where are you located there in Texas? I was almost going to Houston tomorrow, but that kind of fell through. That didn't work out. I was looking for a Lincoln. And of course, if y'all are not in our Discord, drop a link for the Discord. Make sure y'all are in our Discord. That's where we're hanging out. That's the best way to get in touch with me. And we're always hanging out in there. I've got a whole Lincoln channel where we're going, or a chat where we're posting all the Lincolns I've been considering. And the one in Houston just needs too much work. You're in Houston. Nice. Well, like I said, I almost had to go there. I was looking at a car, and the car just needs a little bit of work. I was actually trying to find somebody to go look at it for me so I didn't have to drive, because Houston's like 10 hours. But really, I was able to just look at the car online and figure out that it just probably wasn't the right fit. So I didn't invest. We're going to go to South Carolina tomorrow to try to look at a Lincoln, and hopefully that one works out. And the whole Lincoln hunt will be over, and then we just got to find fun. Well, that Glen's not going to work. I just watched one that's got somebody's logo etched into it. Try to find one that doesn't have somebody's logo etched into it. Yeah, he just dropped that Discord chat. So make sure y'all are in our Discord. We're having some good time over there. We might end up doing some giveaways over there. I definitely do some giveaways for patrons. We have a patron-only chat over there. So if you're into supporting us that way, that's cool. All I promise with patrons is that I'm going to spend y'all's donations in the least responsible way possible. That's what I'm going to do. Anderson, I'm going to be right, like I'm just crossing the line in Columbia. So we're going to come up to Columbia area, and and we're looking at that Lincoln. I forget the town's name, just north of Columbia. Let me find my little, yeah, there it is. Let's do an Elijah Craig barrel proof. How about that? Which one's best? All right, do y'all know any big Elijah Craig barrel proof fans in here? I passed on an A122 today. Should I have passed on it? Is A122 a really good Elijah Craig barrel proof? I've got 4 of them, and I don't drink them a lot. So I have B521, I have B520, I have A121, and I have A117. And so that one's kind of old. Lord, that one's been around for a minute. So which of these should I try? Which of these is the best? I would say the 17 just because it's like 5 years old at this point. But I don't know if I should have bought the 122. I may go back and get the 122. I wasn't sure if I had it. That's why I, check it here. But the 117 shows we've been around. We're OG at that point, right? We've got 5-year-old whiskey. These two aren't even open yet. Like the 520 and the A121. B520 is great. I haven't even opened that. Let's do that. Let's do the 520. It needs to be opened. Hey, David, have you tried the A117? Let me know if you've tried the 117. It says you sounds great. So are you a big Elijah Craig fan? I need a knife here. This plastic. Oh, there's a little tear strip on the back there. Great. He's calling about the Jack Daniel's Sinatra Select in there. I'm sure if it's an ABC wheel, we can look it up online.
No, it's package store.
Oh.
160.
160? That's not a terrible price. Anybody looking for Sinatra? A117 is very good, according to Rick. We're going to try the B520 just because it's brand new. It looks good in a video, right? B520 and C920 are great. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go with this one. I don't know. Hopefully all this is not going to fit in a short. Hold on. I got to get an intro. Go ahead. You go ahead and roll it. Try to figure out an intro for this. This is a high proof whiskey, and sometimes adding water to this guy makes it even better. Now, I've just been throwing some distilled water into it, but I've been getting a little grief, and somebody sent us this Kentucky limestone water. Let's try them both and see which one's best. This is a high proof whiskey, which sometimes is better if you just pour a little water in it. I've just been using some distilled water. I overshot that.
You got your audio going?
I think I got the audio going. Let's check cameras. We didn't check. You're not running that camera. Neither camera's running. You probably just shut them off from the last time. They probably just been recording for like 45 minutes on the last video, honestly. My editor's gonna love us today. I'm gonna be honest. My editor is going to love us today because that camera's probably been running since we shot the last video, and we've been goofing off for like 15 minutes. So he's gonna have a lot of footage to wade through. It's just one of those things. But this is the last video. We may hang out for a little while with y'all, but this is gonna be the last video for sure. This is a barrel proof whiskey, which sometimes is better if you pour a little water on it. This is distilled water. I've already done. I don't like the this again. I just did the this, right? And then I got to double check everything. Recording. This is a high proof whiskey, which sometimes is better if you put a little water on it. Normally, I just use distilled water, but I've been getting a little grief about that lately. And sometimes, Lord, this is a high proof whiskey, which sometimes is better if you put a little water on it. Now, I've been using distilled water, but I've been getting a little grief about that lately. And somebody sent me Kentucky limestone water. So let's give them a try and see if there's any freaking difference. So we're going to start with, this is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B520, 127.2 proof. So it's over 60% alcohol, which means there's a lot of freaking alcohol in this. And sometimes that's a little overwhelming to the senses. So I like to then go and put a little water on it and see, which is a lot of alcohol. And so sometimes I like to add a little water to it, which opens it up. Water, which is a lot of alcohol. So sometimes I like to dilute, I can't even talk today, which is a lot of alcohol. So sometimes I like to dilute it down with just a couple of drops of water, which opens it up and makes it a lot more approachable. Now let's just try my good old fashioned distilled water here, and then in the other Glen, Kentucky limestone water. And I'm interested to see if I could even tell the freaking difference. Probably cut that out. I can't get a. So let's start by trying a little distilled water. I did have one clean Glencairn. And then, I don't even think I need to pour this. And then some Kentucky limestone water. Now, what's interesting about Kentucky limestone water is that this is what's used to make Kentucky bourbon. And so theoretically, when they take a bourbon and they proof it down, this is the water that's actually going to be used. Now, this is old limestone brand Kentucky water. Now, this is old limestone brand mixing water. And so, now what's interesting about limestone water is that this is what they use when they're actually making whiskey to proof it down. So theoretically, by using this Kentucky limestone water, we're actually not doing any harm or changing any of the flavors of the whiskey other than kind of proofing it down a little bit. But this stuff is kind of expensive and you've got to order it specially. This stuff you can get at any grocery store anywhere. So I'm interested to see if I can even tell a difference. Let's start with the limestone water. It smells like a delicious bourbon, which I expect the Elijah Craig to do. And it tastes wonderful, like really proofing it down. I haven't had that particular batch straight up. But adding a little bit of water to it on Elijah Craig is probably one of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is probably the whiskey I add water to the most, just because I enjoy it so much more when you take just a little bit of that proof off of it. I get so many more flavors on it. And so with the limestone water, that's an excellent pour. And with the distilled water, I mean, we're splitting hairs. I don't know if I could really tell much of a difference between the two. If you were adding a lot of water, sure, maybe. But if we're adding just a couple of drops, it's not going to make a freaking difference. But on the other hand, Kentucky limestone water and having what they make whiskey with, well, that's just good storytelling right there. And I do love a good story. What we got? Lunch, leftovers. Hey, nothing wrong with leftovers. Yeah, go ahead and shut those down. We are done. What do we get, 10?
Something like that 10 or 11.
10 or 11. I just realized I grabbed a dirty glass for that distilled water. I don't know. I think it's the one I had the Sprite and Crown Apple in yesterday.
You probably want to upload these on your computer, right?
Oh, yeah. Just pull them off. I'll drop them for him.
Because you remember how long it took me to do the last one?
Well, yeah, but here, if you go ahead and do it and you hang out for an hour, they'll all be uploaded.
Okay.
And then here, you're going to need the adapter for this one.
Yeah.
I think that, let me pour a neat B520 here. I got this clean Glen that we just had we were going to use it for water and we ended up not. Let me pour it neat. Pretty good. Elijah Craig's not my favorite thing in the whole world. I do like them. Really some interesting flavors, a little nuttiness, but there's kind of some dark fruit going on and some oakiness at the end. Overall, that's a really good pour. I prefer a little more fruitiness than I get from Elijah Craig. And I think that's why I don't go back to them and drink them a ton. But they are extremely pleasant. Like, that is a really good pour. So I don't knock it. It's just not to the flavor profile that I'm looking for. It's a little more nutty forward and a little less sweet fruit forward. So anyway, all right, guys, I think we are going to probably call that a live stream. Let me see if I can shrink this back down. Thank y'all for hanging out. I've had a good time. This has been fun. Hopefully these behind the scenes are good. These behind the scenes are eventually, once we get up enough patrons, they're going to be patron only. But for now, it's been fun hanging out with y'all. If you want to be a patron, hey, if you're not, that's cool too. I get you. But we do have Brewzle.com/patron. Make sure you're joining the Discord. The link was posted a little earlier. Hang out with us over there. We will be live probably next Monday and next Wednesday. Definitely next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We will be live here on YouTube. Maybe Monday as well. We're trying to get to where we go live 2 days a week and just hang out with everybody. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. See all of y'all later. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good day. And I'm about to have to go do some actual work this afternoon. So take it easy. If I can figure out how to shut it down. Oh, there we go.